Welcome to the channel Literary Aesthetics, a place where we explore the depths of English literature through detailed summaries and thoughtful analyses. Today, we continue with Emily Bronte's timeless novel Wuthering Heights, moving on to chapters 3 and 4, where mystery deepens and the hidden past of the Heights begins to unfold. After being trapped overnight at Wuthering Heights in the snowstorm, Mr. Lockwood is reluctantly offered a room by the old servant Zillah in chapter 3. She leads him to a chamber that Heathcliff has forbidden anyone to use. Inside, Lockwood finds the room strange and almost haunted. He notices the names, Catherine Earnshaw, Catherine Heathcliff, and Catherine Linton, scratched onto the window ledge, hinting at the mysterious history of the woman who once lived there. Unable to sleep, Lockwood begins to read a set of old diary entries left by the former Catherine, written years ago when she was a child living at Wuthering Heights. Through her diary, we learn about her and Heathcliff's childhood, and the cruel treatment they suffered from Hindley Earnshaw, Catherine's brother. After their father's death, Hindley became harsh and abusive, treating Heathcliff as a servant rather than a family member. As the night grows darker, Lockwood experiences a terrifying nightmare. He dreams that a ghostly child, claiming to be Catherine Linton, tries to enter through the window, crying to be let in. Terrified, Lockwood screams and wakes up Heathcliff, who rushes to the window in great distress. He calls out to Catherine's spirit, pleading for her to return, a moment that reveals the depth of his love and lifelong suffering. His reaction shows that his connection with Catherine is not bound by time or death. When morning comes, Lockwood flees the house, shaken and bewildered by what he has seen. In chapter 4, back at Thrushcross Grange, Lockwood begins to share his strange experience with the housekeeper, Nellie Dean, who starts to unfold the tragic history of the Heights. She tells him about Mr. Earnshaw, the former master, who once brought home a poor orphan boy, Heathcliff, whom he had found wandering in the streets of Liverpool. From that day, jealousy grew within the family. Hindley hated Heathcliff, while young Catherine grew deeply attached to him. Mr. Earnshaw's affection for Heathcliff only worsened Hindley's hatred. After Mr. Earnshaw's death, Hindley returned home as master of Wuthering Heights and began to degrade Heathcliff, forcing him into the position of a servant. Yet, despite all cruelty, Catherine and Heathcliff's bond remained strong, emotional, rebellious, and full of wild energy. Now moving forward to the analysis of these two chapters in detail regarding its themes, characters, and symbolism. These chapters unveil the emotional and supernatural core of Wuthering Heights. Through the ghostly encounter in Nellie's narrative, Emily Bronte fuses the Gothic atmosphere with deep psychological intensity. 1. Gothic and supernatural elements. The ghost of Catherine introduces the novel's haunting tone. The blurred line between life and death mirrors the obsessive and eternal nature of love and suffering in the story. The cold, stormy night and the isolated house heighten the Gothic setting, making the supernatural seem natural within this dark world. 2. Heathcliff's passion and despair. Heathcliff's reaction to Catherine's ghost shows his inner torment and unending love. His anguish hints that his life is bound to Catherine's spirit, revealing how love in Wuthering Heights is destructive, consuming, and beyond rational control. 3. Themes of class and revenge. Nellie's story in chapter 4 introduces themes of social class conflict. Heathcliff's low birth contrasts sharply with the Earnshaw family's status, creating resentment and humiliation that fuel his later desire for revenge. 4. Childhood and corruption. Catherine's diary reflects lost innocence and the beginning of emotional corruption within the household. The contrast between her lively, youthful voice and the grim, oppressive environment shows how childhood love and freedom are crushed by cruelty and hierarchy. 5. The narrative structure. Lockwood's limited understanding and Nellie's storytelling begin to intertwine, creating Bronte's famous framed narrative technique, stories within stories, that add depth, mystery, and unreliability to the novel. The new character introduced to us in these chapters is Mr. Earnshaw. He is the kind-hearted yet stern master of Wuthering Heights, a respectable Yorkshire farmer and the father of Hindley and Catherine Earnshaw. Despite his rough exterior, he possesses a deep sense of compassion and generosity, which becomes evident when he brings home an orphan boy, Heathcliff, from Liverpool. Mr. Earnshaw grows fond of Heathcliff, treating him almost as his own son, much to the jealousy of Hindley. His partiality toward the foundling child creates the early tensions within the Earnshaw family that later shape the novel's tragic conflicts. He is portrayed as a man with strong emotions, moral convictions, and a simple but affectionate heart, whose actions unknowingly set the course for the turbulent relationships that follow. Major incidents in the novel are Lockwood's ghostly encounter with Catherine, Heathcliff's grief. Nellie begins the history of Heathcliff's arrival. Major themes to find out are love and haunting, class conflict, isolation, revenge, lost innocence, supernatural presence. Tone expressed here is Gothic, tragic, mysterious and emotionally charged. Symbols used are the window, barrier between life and death, Catherine's names, changing identity and love's transformation, and the storm, emotional turmoil. In short, chapters 3 and 4 together uncover the haunting atmosphere of Wuthering Heights and the early foundation of the novel's central conflicts. Through Lockwood's eerie experience with Catherine's ghost in chapter 3, Emily Brontë introduces the Gothic tone and the lingering presence of the past that dominates the story. In chapter 4, Nellie Dean's narration begins to bridge the mystery surrounding Heathcliff's origins and the Earnshaw family, revealing the seeds of jealousy, love, and cruelty that shape future tragedies. Overall, these chapters deepen the reader's understanding of the emotional and moral complexity within the Heights. They mark the shift from Lockwood's confused perspective to Nellie's more revealing storytelling, preparing us to explore the tangled relationships, revenge, and passion that drive the novel's unfolding drama. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy deep literary analyses, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Literary Aesthetics, where we continue our journey through Wuthering Heights chapter by chapter.